How's it going, everyone? Today I'm gonna be doing this video on the neck pegs. I finally figured it out. I finally figured out how to swap the short, tiny neck peg for the longer one that they provide us with in the figure. But oh my god, it definitely was a little bit of a hassle. And like I said, the most important thing when you're swapping net pegs out is you gotta have patience. Because if you lose patience, you might try to force something to try to finish fast or get it done, and then that's how things break, right? So patience is the most important thing. And then the method I'm gonna be using is similar to the Jiren. The way I popped out his arms, the Black Hole Toys Jiren, the full power. Oil alone wasn't enough. Like, you can pop those arms out without breaking them, right? A lot of people, a lot of YouTubers broke theirs. And I tried just hot water. It didn't work, because if you put too much force on that small peg, you're gonna feel it. It's gonna start to break. Just oil didn't work either. It was a combination of both water and oil. First, you put in the oil and try to kind of like really put a decent amount of oil in there, really drown it out, and then add some water to flush it in there. And I feel like the combination of the heat, water, and the oil kind of just gets in there real good, and then it loosens it up at least enough for you to be able to pop something out without breaking it. So that's pretty much the method we're going to be using today. I already did it to this guy right here, if you weren't able to tell yet. But I already did it to this guy last night. Last night is when I figured it out. I did have to shave down the pegs a little bit, just like I did the first time when I first popped them on. For the long one as well, but on both ends actually, because it wouldn't go in easily, and you don't want to break the plastic that holds the peg. That one's hard plastic, and it will break. I think my brother Overhaul broke a peg like that, or sorry, a 3.0 neck peg like that once. Anyways, so that's the method you're going to be using. Oil, a combination or a mixture of oil and hot water. You're going to need pliers, okay? You're going to need some pliers like these, okay? This is the best thing for the best leverage and strong for the neck peg. You're going to need some pliers like this, okay? If you can figure out another way, cool, but I recommend these pliers. And then the third thing is you're gonna have to shave it down, right? After it's all said and done, you're gonna have to shave down both ends of the peg, because it still doesn't pop in. Even with all the oil and hot water, it would not pop in, and I put a significant amount of force trying to pop it in, it would not go. Also, the head sculpt into the peg when I was done, same thing. So I had to shave both sides down, and it worked out perfectly, because now the neck peg is not as tight as the original small one. The head moves a lot easier. So anyways, like I said, bear with me. I'm going to try to cover everything. I hope I don't miss anything, and I'm going to try to repeat it a couple times, so just in case I didn't say it the first time. But yeah, like I said, this one I did it last night, and I'm going to show you guys right now, right? Like I said, you could probably tell for those that have that keen eye, right? But now it's a big difference, really. Realistically, it's a big difference. I'm not even going to ever use the other ones and go back to that, right? It's a big difference. He can definitely look down a lot more now, and he can definitely look a little bit more up or straighter than he did before. And his head all around, just look at that. That just moves so good now. And I feel like before, when you look down, the faceplates kind of got pushed out, right? Because it was so cramped in there, right? But now, big difference. And I'm going to show you, because this is not the one obviously not the one we're going to do it on, because this one's already done. That's the one I experimented on first. This one here is the one we're going to do it on. He still has a small peg. You can see that. I'm going to put them next to each other. You can see the difference, right? Like the neck, the head just sits a little higher, and you can see the neck a little more on this one. And this guy is more close to the upper body for sure. So you can tell for sure. There you go. You can tell that this one already has the long neck peg, and this one doesn't. So this is the one we're going to fix it on today as well. I'm going to try to do as much as I can on camera and explain as much so you guys can get it right. But I will say, if you don't trust yourself when it comes to something like this, and you're not patient, I would say just leave it the way it is. If you don't trust yourself, you don't want to damage anything. This is not a cheap figure. But anyways, so this one I did it on. You can see the neck space right there. Actually, let me tilt it so you can see it better. All right, you can see a little more neck on this one, and this one nothing. So, and also the movement on this one was never that great on the neck, right? Like, he can move down slightly. Look, do you see? It's already pulling the faceplate off right here. You can see it's starting to separate, right? All he could do was move up that much, and that's it. And then, obviously, this is the main thing. And that other thing I did with the other one, that's not happening, right? So, like I said, I just wanted to explain how, stress that real quick. This is the one we're going to do it on. The other one's already been swapped. So, let's get to it. Okay, another thing I am going to say is I found it easier if you just remove the upper body, the torso upper half. I found it easier if you just remove that because I can grip it better and tuck it into my arm, for the leverage when I'm pushing them and pulling them out. So that's what I recommend you do. That way you don't have to have these guys flopping around or accidentally bend this too much, you know what I mean? So like if you can't pop these, the torso pops out easily. Okay, it doesn't take a lot to pop out. It pops out really easily and it's not going to break. Right, it's a really thick peg, and like I said, it pops off easily and it pops on back easily. So step one is that I would do that first. That way you can see, you can just grab a hold of the whole piece right here a lot easier and then just deal with that, right? So I already have some oil in here. Let me see if I can. I already had some oil in here from before, from loosening it up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little more oil all around. And then I'm going to flush hot water in there, right? And then I'm going to move this around. So I'm going to put oil first, put some hot water in there, but I'm going to let the hot water, my faucet shoots out really hot water. So I'm going to let that go in there. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to move this back and forth to get some of that water in there as well, right? Some of that water, some more of that oil. And then once I'm done doing that, I'm going to run it through the hot water one more time just to give an overall, warm the whole thing up a little bit. Not too hot, obviously. You don't want to melt the thing, but, hot enough to where it's going to heat up the plastic, right? And then that's when you're going to try to pull it out. I'm going to try to do this on camera, but I might need the leverage off camera because, like I said, I tucked this into my side. Using my forearms and my arms. But anyways, when you finally do pull this out though, you grab it from here from the tip, right? And what I did is I pretty much pushed up against this part of the neck. So you're going to do a motion like this so that the leverage from this helps you pop that out even easier and you don't have to use too much strength. But you see that? So like I said, it's just to make it all an easier process. You don't want to break anything. I'm pretty sure if I were to just do it like this right now, maybe it'll come out. See, there's a little scuffing right there. I just scuffed the neck a little bit. I would say you could put like a slight, maybe a cloth under here, like against that so that you don't scuff it too much. All right, I'm going to show you real quick. I just put a bunch of oil around inside the neck area pretty much. I don't know if you could see the gloss. There you go. You can see the gloss. Right? I put a bunch of oil in there so that it's all full of oil in there. Okay. So, I just flushed a lot of hot water in it. This is the towel I'm going to be using so that I can protect the neck and just to clean yourself if you need to. Okay, so you can see I got water on there, right? You can see the water glistening. I put a lot of water in there, hot water right now. Just like I said, just oil, hot water, and then move this peg back and forth. Do it like a couple times, nice, and just keep going all around as much as you can. And then for the final time, run it one more time on hot water for the heat, right? And then you can go ahead and try that. So what I would do is put that on the neck so you could still grab the peg, right, like this. And you're putting the towel on there so you don't scuff the neck, right? Hopefully it pops out. There you go. You see that? Beautiful. I actually used even less strength than I used last night to pull out the other one. So that was awesome. And there you go. So there's the peg, right? You can see there's water on there, right? Let me see. Yeah, you can see there's water on there and it's all shiny from the oil and water. So one more time, oil inside the little cavity and hot water. Try to flush it in there. Both of those two things. Move the peg all around. And then these pliers are definitely what you're going to need. You put a cloth or something here to cover it so you don't scuff the neck. And then just the way I used that leverage on the neck, you just popped it out and it popped out so easily. And without having to worry about breaking, because this plastic here on the inside is the one that's going to break for sure. So all right, so that was awesome. That was extremely successful. So that was cool. I'm going to show you guys the pegs, what the difference is, so you can see what they look like. Definitely a significant difference, especially for Broly's next. It was already cramped, right? This is the one that the figure came with, and this is the one that I'm about to put in right now. So definitely a significant difference. All right, so before we try to pop this one in, you're not gonna try to pop it in like that. Like I said, it is gonna require a little shaving. You don't want to break that piece. I told you the socket where it goes into that will break. It's not like the neck where it's rubbery. The neck is rubber, but not the inside socket. So you're gonna want to file it down. Any nail file is fine. Um, but you're not gonna just like any random. No, what you're gonna do is you're gonna do pretty much a line of shaving down like around in a circular motion, but all along the center of the peg, right? All like this. You're gonna do in a circular motion. I'm gonna show you right now. So what I like to do, because when the peg doesn't fit in there, it's only because of the wideness of the ball itself, right? It has nothing to do with the bottom part or the top part. Those are already, they taper down as they go when they're because they're circular. The part that are the biggest are the edges of the circles, right? So what I like to do is shave it like this on one side, right? Get a little bit in there, right? Wipe that down. And then I rotate it to the next side. Wipe that down or shave it down, right? You can see that the, hold on, let me see. You see how it leaves a little shaving right there, the spots, right? You have two now, 1 and 2. So same thing for the next spot, right? So you're doing it like this, and this is how it looks like from the side. You're pretty much just getting the sides right here like that, just like that. All right, that's it. Don't try to overdo it too much, a little bit at a time, and this is a gradual process. You're gonna do a little bit at a time as needed and try it every time until it fits. So that each time you're only reducing a small amount of the plastic. And you don't do too much, and then it's gonna be loose. Or not staying at all. Okay, let me clean this off real quick. All right, so I've shaved a decent amount from all around the peg, right? I'm gonna see if you can see it real quick. You see there's shavings right there, all around. So it's all in the center of the circle, pretty much a circular peg, right? All around like that, an even row. Just a little bit at a time, and I'm gonna try to see if it pops in now, okay? Okay, so what you can do is, like I said, grab it like this. This is why having only the popping off the torso works. You grab the peg, use the towel for so you don't slip, so your finger doesn't slip off of there, and try to just pop it in there and push it in there, right? And then just try to, right? You're just gonna keep doing that until it works. And right now it's not working. Okay. Okay, so the other important thing you gotta remember is, I'm gonna try it with my fingers like this. So the other thing you gotta remember, I just gave it a second round of shaving. Like I said, it's a light shave all around. It's a gradual process until so you don't overshoot, right? So you don't overdo it. I just did it a second time. When you try to put it in the peg back in, I start off at an angle, but at the end, when you're trying to push it in, make sure you push it in straight down, because that's the whole purpose of shaving it all around the circular part, right? You're trying to pop it in like this at the end. So I'm gonna try to pop it in like this, see if it goes now. Okay, feels like it kind of wants to already, but I definitely need leverage. I'm gonna have to do this on the side. You know what you could do too, as you're shaving it down, every time you try to attempt to put it in, uh, throw some hot water on here to warm the whole area up. It doesn't hurt. I did that on the other one. I just remembered I did that last night as well. So every time you get an attempt after shaving it down, put a little hot water on there, warm it up, and try to pop it in. All right, you guys. So I ended up doing it. I did it off camera because I needed the leverage. I needed to get a different kind of leverage. So I got it in there. You can see I still got water in there because I was rushing it in the water as well, again for the hot water. But it definitely fit, and it's a lot looser than the other one, so it moves back and forth nicely. It's still a little snug, but I'm not gonna pop it out and try to do the whole process all over again. I'm not gonna do that. That's good enough for me. I'm good. I don't want to have to do this more than once. So there you go. What I did right now, I was in the bathroom and I had it like this. I aimed it down like this. I put some hot water. I aimed it down like this on the solid counter, right? Make sure you can see that. So I aimed it down like this. I held the peg in place with my thumbs without losing your balance. You got to remember that this neck kind of tends to go inside, so you got to be aware of that. so it'll move on you a little bit. But once it's into a certain extent, it won't move no more. So what I did in the bathroom is I held it like this, and then I just pushed down on top until it popped in, and then it did. So I ended up doing like 2 rounds of shaving. You guys saw how I did it, right? I think I did a little more on the last peg for the other one, for the battle damage one, but it definitely fits and it doesn't pop out. In case you're wondering, like, it does not come off. So, but it's not so tight. It's still kind of tight, but not like where it's gonna be annoying like before. So that's cool. I'm gonna put a little more oil to loosen that up right now, just to add a little more extra. And then I'm gonna start shaving this neck peg down, because that needs to be shaved down too, so that the head can fit in perfectly. Okay, real quick. So like I said, I'm gonna shave that down. You're gonna use the same process I showed you for the other pig, right? Same thing. You're gonna do the shave pretty much like a line down the center, but all around. You're gonna shave all around gradually as you go. Each time, just a little bit. Try if the head pops in a little bit. Try it again. A little. It's so that you don't all go over or overdo it too much, and then it won't peg in, or it won't stay in, or it'll pop out, right? So always do a little bit at a time, and then try each time. All right, so I just did one round of shaving down. What I like to do is shave it down on one side here, then on the top, then on the left, and then on the right, and then go in between those like that. That's what I like to do. And then just do that and repeat the process. That's the best way I found it. It is to shave, and then just look at the circular motion, whatever looks like sticks out the most. Kind of go over it like this, wipe it like that. All right, I just did the second round. It didn't pop in. It's crazy because the only other figure I've ever done this to was one of my Kid Boo from Tones and Art Toys. Only one version was really, really tight, and I had to shave it down, but it worked. So thanks to that figure, I figured it out, right? But anyways, this is how it looks. You can see that it's shaved down as I rotate it. Bring that up closer. You can see the markings, right? So yeah. And there you go. I got it. It doesn't take much for this one. Probably just, like I said, small minimum amount, but I did do 2 rounds on this one as well. Sorry, let me fix the camera. And that's all it took. Right, and now it pops off. And not only that, not only does it pop in, I also like to leave things where they pop off, fairly easily, where it's not too much of a struggle. I'm struggling right there, right? But yeah, it definitely pops out a lot easier now. Let me see if I can grab the hair without getting poked over here. There you go, right? You see? Popped out easily, and then it pops on back easily. Right? Thanks to the shave. Perfect. All right, I'm going to pop the body back on so you guys can see that it's, actually an easy thing to pop the torso back on. Let me get that water out of there. Some water in there. Yeah, and then when you're done, just clean up the water, any excess water, excess oil. Oil shouldn't be actually too much left. It usually gets used up or washed out. So then you pop that back in. You definitely have to get the right leverage as well. I have to do this off camera. All right, and just like that, I popped it back on. You definitely need a little leverage as well. Let me put the face. And there you go. And just like that, now this guy also has the proper neck peg, and the neck looks great. You can actually see the neck, right? And now he can definitely look a lot more up and down, right? Which the other guy could do, which before it was not possible. And definitely look at that. That's beautiful, right? Up and down, look at that. Right, I feel like he has more space in the back of the head. He has more space in the back of the head here because the hair is elevated more, so he can go further back this way. All right, so that's cool. And he can go further down because his chin's not touching so quickly. So, look at that. Get that right in there so you guys can see. There you go. So yeah, definitely way better. I'm definitely gonna leave them like this. Definitely not going back to the those small pegs. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I'll probably hold on to them for now, but definitely I like the longer extended pegs. That's the way to go. And like I said, now both of these have those pegs, those neck pegs fixed. So that's awesome. Definitely awesome. So like I said, one more final tip for this. Make sure you have patience. Like I said, it takes patience. Make sure you have set some time on the side. Oil, hot water into that peg. Pliers was the most important thing. Leverage, and then the cloth so you don't damage the figure and just clean up the mess. And then shave it down, and then that's it. Well, like I said, hopefully this helps. If you guys enjoyed, give me a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Take care and enjoy your Brolies.